Guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with a very special video review. And today we'll be taking a look at the Sideshow exclusive Bank Robber version 2.0 of the Joker from Batman: The Dark Knight. And it's special for a couple different reasons. Number one, as I said, this is a Sideshow exclusive. This figure can only be purchased through them here in North America. It was originally released at Tokyo Toy Fair or something like that. And they brought it over here exclusively for us. The other thing is, this is my very first review of a Hot Toy figure from the Dark Knight trilogy, and I'm thrilled that this is the first one. Believe it or not, I do actually have a couple other Batman figures. For example, I do have Bane, Catwoman, and the 2.0 version of the other Joker, but I've never reviewed those. Honestly, I just kind of started getting into them, mostly because of the upcoming Batman Armory with Batman, Alfred, and Bruce Wayne. So I thought I'd kick things off with taking a look at this guy, and because I never got the first one, I actually went back and watched my buddy JT Mitchell 87's review on this so that I can kind of do my best to point out the difference between this and that original version. Now, as you can see, package-wise, it is a little bit different. The other one had a little bit more in terms of paint, like they had the a dollar thing right here. This is just his face, and specifically the face mask that he wore in the opening scene. And I absolutely love it. Not a lot of people are automatically going to pick up on this, but this mask is almost a spitting image of the mask worn by very famous Joker from the original 1960 Batman series played by Cesar Romano. It's absolutely almost identical, and I love the fact that that's how we were introduced to the Joker back in the original 1960 series, and it's how we were introduced to the Joker in this one. I mean, that is a wonderful homage and a absolute perfect touch. Now, one thing that may be hard to see is it also has a bit of yellow, and yeah, it's so difficult to see just because any light, it's almost hard to see it with the naked eye, but you can see a little bit of yellow that's in it. There's actually like ha 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 written all throughout it, and I don't know, like I said, how well that's going to come across. The other cool thing is that it is a slip cover, and as you can see, when you have it like this, you can see his eyes underneath here, which look great. And what you do is you slide this off, and trying to keep everything from falling out, you can see that you got a nice image of Heath Ledger as the Joker right there, an absolutely creepy image. And then you can see better the ha ha ha, that same kind of design that's on here is replicated in this off-white, almost, I hate using the example, but it's almost like a pea yellow. There's a little bit of yellow in it, but you really can't even see it. And then it's textured. So you do have that real nice image there. And I love how you can slide this off and you have his eyes. I mean, that's just perfect. On the inside here, you do see the cast and the crew responsible for making the figure. And then you slide this section out, and that's where things start falling off. These just kind of sit right in there. Well, actually, they got little pieces of tape, but getting this out of the way, well, nah, just leave that right there. You can see that he has a lot of accessories, and it's all protected by this nice hard clamshell. And again, a lot of the accessories are different from what we got in that original Bank Robber version. And like I said, I will do my best to try and touch on those differences. Unfortunately, as I did mention, I don't have that original one, so I'm going by what I've seen in, for example, my friend JT Mitchell's actual review of this. I know there are some that you get here that you do not get with that other set. It really does make this an extra piece to pick up that is worth getting. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Bank Robber 2.0 version of the Joker opened up and out of its packaging. And I am absolutely blown away. Now, as I said, I never got the original Bank Robber version, so I unfortunately couldn't really compare it, but I did go back and watch my friend JT Mitchell's review of it, and it really does impress me the difference between this and the original one. It seems that anytime that Hot Toys gets a second chance to do something, they really outdo themselves. There are a lot of accessories that he does come with, and some are basically reused, which isn't all that uncommon, but you do get a lot, and I would highly recommend, if you do get this, to go through the actual instruction sheet. I'd recommend that for every Hot Toy figure that you get, just so that you don't damage anything. anything. But starting off first, as always, taking a look at his accessories. As I said, this guy really does come with a pretty good amount. In addition to the 2 hands that you see already on the figure, you get 3 additional pairs. You can see you have one right hand where he's kind of pointing. You got another one that is more of a closed grip, much better for obviously holding a gun or something like that. He has a much wider grip hand. Then he has a just a generic kind of fanned out hand that doesn't really have too much going on with it. It's just an open palm. He does have another hand that kind of is more of a relaxed looking hand, probably used maybe for holding one of the grenades that he comes with. And then he comes with another one with a much more closed grip that is a lot nicer to use when you're actually having him holding his knife. He does come with a couple different weapons. He comes with a shotgun that I don't remember the guy's name. Actually, he played the bank dude who basically came out to try to confront the robbers in the beginning, but you do have this. I do love the actual mechanism here that allows you to cock the gun if you want to. Really very, very nice. And there's a great amount of detail on here that is very subtle. I mean, this absolutely looks like wood, a very polished kind of wood, and it looks really very good. There's a little bit of wear in terms of a bit of a silver paint wash on here, so really very simple, but absolutely looks terrific. He also does come with the automatic handgun. You can see it's got the removable clip right here that you just stick right in there. It does move back here at the cocking mechanism, I guess. Again, a really nice paint job. You can see the silver metallic look on here. But again, another wonderful weapon that he used in the movie. He does come with his dagger that is, it actually has a little bit of a belt clip on here. I was really very surprised to see that. And then it can actually slide, well, here's the bottom. You can actually slide this up, revealing it. And honestly, it looks like it's a potato peeler. That's really what it looks like. But this is a very iconic weapon. This is when you're like, do you want to know how I got these scars and all that kind of stuff? If you ask anybody, I'm a terrible impersonator, so I cannot do a very good impression of the Joker, but you can get the idea. So setting that there. He does come with a deck of just Joker cards. You can see that I have it still in the plastic wrap. I'm not going to open it just because I don't want to ever lose these, but they are, you get several of them. You can see there's a pretty big deck right there, but they all have different Joker cards on them, which is really nice. And then you also do get a stack of cash, which is wonderful. Zoom in so that you can actually see that a little bit. You can see that it's not marked up. You got the black paint around George Washington's eyes. You got the little red paint for his mouth. You do get a stack of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have anything printed on the back of it, but they all do have that same design on here. I'll just slide out some maybe if I can to show you, but yeah, I mean, so here, okay, you can see what's going on there, but you get a big giant stack of these, which it's always cool to have some dollar bills. He also does come with a wristwatch, which is a nice addition to have on there because he uses to check the time to see when the actual bus was going to crash through the bank itself. So it's nice that they included that. I don't think that was included in the original release. So that's like a nice little nod. He comes with a bunch of different types of grenades, and taking this out, you can see you have 6 of these bigger grenades. You got 6 of these smaller round grenades, and then 4 of these kind of gas can sort of grenades. They all can actually clip onto here, and then this can actually be brought over to his actual duffel bag. You can open this up. You got all these zippers on here, which just work perfectly. It's a bit of a pain to get them to unzip just because of how tiny they are, but it does unzip. Where's the thing? My big old fat fingers don't really do a very good job of it. So you can open that flap. You can open that up. You do have this piece in here, which kind of helps it keep its shape. It was a very nice shape in the actual movie. It really wasn't all that scrunched in or everything. And then you can just take this. You can put that in there, and you can actually have him carrying all of these grenades, but I'll show that off here in a little bit when I actually load this up. You do have these pockets right here. These also do unzip, and then when you take them out, they have little foam pieces in there. You can take them out if you want to. I like leaving them in there just because it keeps that shape pretty nice. And going back and rewatching the movie, like I said, this thing was in a perfect the shape. It wasn't really all like scrunched up or anything. So I do really enjoy that. I think that's a beautiful bag. You can adjust the strap here if you really wanted to. You got some really nice dirt marks on here as well. I mean, so really nice, very subtle paint on here. I mean, this bag looks like it was used, which is absolutely wonderful. Now he also does come with this, which I know that this is a new accessory as well. So in addition to basically getting this piece, you also come around here to the back and you can actually lift this flap up and you have this piece right here, which it was in the movie and you can actually see it. This just tucks right under through there, just like that. Something like, well, here, something like that. I'll just slot it through there just like that. And then this little piece right here, you can see you got that nice long string. This can actually attach to this little clip right up here. So you can have him, again, this might be a little bit tricky to show. There we go, zoom it in so that you can actually see it. You can see that it's clipped on there, and then he can take it off if he wants to, and then this whole thing can unravel, and he can stick this in a bad guy's mouth, and then he can go into the bus here in the background, drive away, and it'll actually pull the clip off that you can see the string comes up to and is actually attached to that. So, I mean, again, an absolute wonderful addition to this. The original one did not have it. So it really is a great addition. You needed to have this. That whole scene was so incredibly creepy and awesome. And I mean, honestly, I can't imagine them not having it the first time. So the fact that they decided to include it the second time, given that second opportunity to be able to do it, is absolutely wonderful. It looks great. The tattered little fabric back here actually looks very good, and it hides very nicely. So again, absolute wonderful addition to the 2.0 version of the figure. And finally, he does come with a second alternate portrait. Now, in the original one, he came with two different heads. He came with the regular head that's on him, basically, and then he came with another one that allowed you to take the mask and put it over his face. So what they basically have done is completely eliminate that and just give you this completely one-piece sort of head sculpt, which, again, looks absolutely incredible. And zooming in as much as I can on this, I wanted to show this off. You can actually see that his eyes, it's so hard to see in there because it's so dark in there, but you can actually see his eyes are inside that. I mean, they actually molded in eyes, which it's so wicked and just overall just looks really quite impressive. I mean, you can see the great detail, wonderful paint applications on here. You got that dirty scratched look. It really looks like a worn mask. And I absolutely love that this homages the late great Cesar Romero and his first appearance as the Joker. I think that's a wonderful nod that I really don't know if a lot of people pick up on that, but I think it's a great touch. Now, one thing that you do lose out on is you don't have an extra mask. Now, be that as it may, people have complained about it. I don't think it's all that bad. I think that this is a great look. People would like to have the extra mask just so that he could hold it. And I do agree it would have been nice if we did get that, but it keeps that original version a little bit more special, I guess. So I can understand why they decided not to include it. I would have loved to have had it, but at least they found a way to still incorporate this, and you can have him wear this on his head or on his body and create a whole nother look for him, which I think is absolutely wonderful. I just wish I had that original head to be able to compare it to, because this one does look a lot better than the other one, which was just his head with the mask going over it. So this is a much more tapered look and just really shines, and I think it's just a far better representation of the Joker wearing his mask than that original release. And the two final accessories that you get come by way of this diorama, which basically includes the display stand, which has an absolute gorgeous finish here on the bottom that really nicely looks like a bank floor. I mean, that really is very impressive. You got the tiles and things like that. I really do like it. It's so very simple, but absolutely conveys what you're basically doing. And when you set it up here with this backdrop that has the school bus crashing through, I mean, you really are creating the whole scene that he's inside that bank. You come around here, you got this little plastic piece on here. I never take these off or anything, but one thing that's interesting is it says the Joker bank robber version. It says the Dark Knight has that logo, but it doesn't say that it's the 2.0 version, which is kind of interesting. You do have the clear pillar with kind of just the crotch grabbing cradle. It doesn't actually have the hook or anything. And then you get this diorama, which is very very heavy cardboard. I mean, it's really very nice, highly durable. You can see that it's kind of wedged in this way. When you fold it like this, it creates a little bit of a kind of area where you can basically angle down so that you can actually see this. You can just take this and you can just slot that right inside there and create that look, and then obviously put that there as well. And I mean, it really is very cool. One thing that I would have liked a little bit better is the photograph that they used is a bit blurry. It's out of focus. I would have preferred it if it was a much more crisp, high definition image. I mean, it's printed on the actual cardboard, so it's really nice detail and high quality, but just the picture itself just kind of throws me off. And then you can take the Joker and you can have him there. I mean, it just really looks very neat. And I mean, honestly, it's almost to scale when you think about it. Well, no, not really. I mean, he's not going to be that tall. But I mean, it looks pretty good as a backdrop. And now we come to the figure himself. And as I said, I don't have the original one, so I can't make a lot of direct comparisons. I can only tell you what I basically remember. And from what I've seen, the suit tailoring on this is just so much better than that first one. The first one just was really bulky and didn't really fit in on the body very well. This has a very lanky look to it and looks absolutely wonderful. Not only that, but the suit color is much nicer as well. It's a little lighter of a color, I believe. It's definitely a different color of a suit, and obviously he didn't have this whole back section that the original one did, but this just really looks terrific. One thing that's also very interesting is he comes with socks. The original one didn't come with socks, but this one, he's got socks, so they thought to include that. The paint on the shoes is also different. They are the same kind of shoes, but it's a different paint job. But this is absolutely terrific, and the face sculpt is incredible. I have heard some people say that they don't see Heath Ledger in this. My reply to that is, how can you not see Heath Ledger in this? It really is incredible. Now, he does have that kind of pouting his lip out look, but he did that a lot. So I really do like that. One thing that I don't like, though, honestly, is his eyes are constantly looking off to the side. I wish that they just gave him a straight-on look. But other than that, the face sculpt really is very, very nice. I mean, you can see a nice green amount of detail here in the actual hair. All the paint on here is just simply stunning, the amount of detail in the paint, and it's so wickedly creepy looking. I mean, you can see the actual puffiness of where the scars are around his mouth. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it just I don't know, you can really see it when you look at it from the top. You can see the puffiness from the cheeks on the side. It absolutely blows my mind how good this looks. Now, I don't have, like I said, that first one, but for a comparison, and here we have him next to my DX11 Joker. And as you can see, the face sculpt is different. It is a much better face sculpt on the new bank robber version. Now, there is no question. The paint application just has a much nicer tone to it as well. The facial expression is a little bit different, whereas this one kind of has that, you know, he's puffy and sticking his lips out kind of look. That's more of a smirk kind of thing, and his lips aren't protruding as much. I don't mind it all that much. The hair is obviously a little bit different as well. This has a much nicer texturing on here. This is a little bit more just fake looking, to be totally honest. It's very waxy kind of looking, whereas this has a much nicer flow to it. One thing that is unfortunate is that the DX figure does have the purse system. I'm trying to get these guys to stand all at one time. They don't want to. They want to lean on it. Lean on, Joker. It's like it's a thing. And honestly, that's the only advancement that I really think that the original DX11 head has over the new one. I do like the ability to be able to pose the eyes, especially if they're going to just keep him locked in this position where he's looking off on an angle. That bugs me, but everything else, though, is just an absolute wonderful scope. I mean, you can even see, like, the side here when you're looking, that he's got, like, a little double chin kind of thing going on underneath here, whereas this one is a much more streamlined look. Everything on here is just that much more improved over this one. Or when I'm saying that, I mean the bank robber is improved over this one. And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get this figure just in the first place. I basically just got this so I can swap the head out. So basically all you have to do, take this, pop this out. It is on the exact same kind of peg system. You take this one off, pull this out just like so, and then I can take this and jam that all the way down. And for me, that's just a better overall head sculpt, I think, on this particular figure. And honestly, that is why I wanted to get this. I like this display for a lot more than this one. I mean, this is great looking. Do not get me wrong. It's just very scene specific. The displays, the heads are the biggest thing for me. And that's what really pushed me to want to get this. But taking this back off to complete the review, and taking that head sculpt off, again, all you have to do is take this, kind of line this a little peg up. There it is, right inside there. Then just give this a nice little push. Then, well, let's see, get in there. There we go. And that locks that in there again really nicely. You do have to kind of futz with the little outfit a little bit, and coming around here to the back, I can see that this is kind of lifted up a little bit. But I mean, again, when you get this on here, this is a terrific look for this guy. This is how I'm going to display this. I'm going to take that Joker head, I'm going to swap that out with the DX body, and you can see that that's where the purse system is on there. And I do wish that had this, but it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, in creating this, you can take his gun, you can take the hand here, you can put this, I mean, put something like that. I'm not good with my poses, but I mean, that just, you can recreate that look for him, and it looks absolutely terrific. You can take the grenades, and as you can see, they just clip right on here. It's really simple. Just set him over there, get that out of the way. You can take this, then take these, put that in there, just like so. And then you have all of his grenades right inside there, and it's not, there we go, get that put in there nicely. And then it does Velcro, so you can put it right there. And then just take this, bring this up on his shoulder like so, kind of have him hold that. I mean, how cool is this? I mean, everything about this just really does have an absolute incredible look to it. And for me, just that overall presence that the Joker has is very nicely captured in this particular figure. I mean, it just has that evil look to him. And honestly, it's just so much more impressive than I really expected it to be. I mean, Hot Toys really does, like I said earlier in this review, they take the second chances that they're given and really do a great job with it. This guy is terrific. The new head sculpt really is the best that we've gotten from any Joker figure, period. The only thing that I do wish that the entire set came with would have been just an extra mask just by itself. To me, that would have probably made this an absolute perfect set, especially if you want to recreate that whole bank robber scene. But I do understand the fact why they would want to keep that out of this set. It keeps the original one a little bit more precious and a little more valuable. And I'm okay with that. There's no problem that I can see with that. A fairly expensive figure, there is no question. But I really do believe that what you're getting is well worth that price. Now, if you are interested in getting this guy, all you have to do to pick him up is click on the link down in the video description. You go to Sideshow Collectibles, where you can pick this guy up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OptibotimusReviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own Optibotimus t-shirt. And finally, I'd also really appreciate it, guys, that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.